Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the Shed of Dread. And before we start this next little chitty chat, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like and share if you wouldn't mind. That'd be much appreciated. And to all of you that have, thank you so much. Right then, you may remember a few days ago I did a video where I was talking about Nigel Farage saying that his bank accounts had been closed. Well, it's a bit more information, so I'm going to throw it up, but there's also something interesting that I need to raise about this. So, here we go, from the BBC. Now, this is the BBC again. I know the last article, the one I did was from the BBC, but it's important that we actually mention that this is from the BBC. Nigel Farage bank account shut for falling well below wealth limit. That's 15 hours ago. Right then. This is by Simon Jack and Daniel Thomas. Nigel Farage fell below the financial threshold required to hold an account at Coutts. Now, Coutts is you have to have, I think it's £3 million worth of savings and an income of £500,000 a year or something to hold this thing, which is also owned, for information, it's held by NatWest. Prestigious private bank for the wealth of the BBC has been told. Right, before we go any further, Coutts / NatWest have just broken the law because they're now discussing openly to a news organisation that personal finances of somebody, which they're not allowed to do. It's against the law. So let's just put a pin in that bit. That bit that's done is wrong and illegal, but we'll carry on. It's understood that he was subsequently offered a standard account at NatWest, which owns Coutts. Mr. Farage said he believes his account being shut down for political reason and has since been turned down by other lenders. Yes, because he's a personal PEP, is it a PEP, what they call it? A political exposed person, which basically means it was created by the EU so they can shut people down who they don't like. That's what it's all about. In any case, let's carry on. But people familiar with Coutts said the move was a commercial decision. The criteria for holding a Coutts account are clear from the bank's website, they told the BBC. So, yet again, other people based in the banking industry are now talking about somebody else's personal finances, which they're not allowed to do. Coutts requires his customers to borrow or invest at least £1 million with the bank or hold £3 million of savings. Speaking to the BBC from France, Mr. Farage did not dispute the fact that he did not meet Coutts' threshold, but added they didn't have a problem with it for the last 10 years. The former leader of the UK Independence Party and Brexiteer later tweeted, at no point had Coutts given him a minimum threshold. Well, there you go. He added that his business account was being closed despite the fact that last year he had a large significant positive cash balance going through it. Coutts said it did not comment on an individual's account, but will tell you that he didn't reach it and will actually tell you that he didn't do this and that. So we're not going to comment on his individual's accounts, but we're going to tell you all of it in any case. You broke the law, Coutts. You broke the law. And you took it to the BBC because the BBC are part of the establishment and trying to get rid of him. Yeah, any case. Oh, well, and also the large significant positive cash balance is one, I can't remember which idiot stood up in the counter and said, oh, it's from Russia, he's been paid for by Russia, and that's why his account's been shut down, even though an investigation proved that wasn't the truth. Mr. Farage posted a 6-minute video on Twitter blaming serious political persecution from an anti-Brexit banking industry. Correct, they are. They didn't want us to vote, to leave. He said losing his personal bank account was equivalent to being a non-person, and that his decision may fundamentally affect my future career and whether or not I can go and stand out and living in this country. Well, there you go. Speaking to Radio 4 A World at Once, Mr. Farage said that Coutts had given him no reason whatsoever when they wrote to say that his accounts would be closed, and he was given 2 months to find a new bank. And when he goes to a new bank, he can't get one. But remembering that these people also said, oh, but we offered him an account, which he's now saying you didn't. There you go. Mr. Farage also disputed the fact that he was offered a NatWest account at the same time his Coutts accounts were withdrawn. He said the offer of a NatWest account came late last week when they realised they might get in a bit of shit. Former politician said the bank only did this when he went public with his story and then he offered him a personal account, not a business account. There you go. So they did offer him one, but after he said, oh, well, you're kicking me out, and then they wanted, yeah, exactly. Well, what use is it to me? To me, is that he told the BBC, I operate through a business, and that's how I live. Any income that comes to me personally comes through my business, so he needs a business account. The BBC understands that the offer of a NatWest account still stands, but again, he's just said, why would he want one of them? He needs a business account, not a personal account, and that offer only came when he came out and said that they were shutting his bank account for no reason. Mr. Farage claims that other banks refuse to as a customer on the grounds he's a politically exposed person, a PEP. A PEP generally represents a high risk for financial institutions as regulators consider such people to be more exposed to the risk of potential involvement in bribery and corruption by virtue of their position and their influence that they may hold. Yeah, I'm sure you give all the politicians bank accounts there, and that ain't a problem, is it? Because you don't tell me that doesn't happen to them. Mr. Farage told the BBC, "Are you telling me that all the other banks say it was a PEP thing and Coots it wasn't? Draw your own conclusions." Speaking on GB News later on Tuesday, he questioned why Coots had been discussing my financial situation publicly, adding it was not ethical. It's also illegal. They're not allowed to do that. Treasury spokesman said it would be serious concern if financial services had been denied to those exercising the right to full speech. Bollocks. You'd do it as well. Utter rubbish. Yeah. We're already looking into this issue and we've passed a law that requires the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, to review how banks treat politically exposed persons so we can strike the right balance between customers' right to free speech and the bank's right to manage commercial risk. Yeah, you mean the commercial risk? Yeah, whatever. Any case. So there you go. It's not political. It's nothing to do with who you are. But we'll just tell everybody your personal finances. So, is Nigel Farage telling porkies? Well, no, he said he had his bank account shut and they've shut his bank account. So he's not telling porkies. Is it because of his political affiliations? You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me because they're all part of the system. Remember, there are three columns to this. There's, you got your banking system, your politics, and your corporations. And all these three people think things rely on each other and cover each other's arses. So if you threaten one, the others step in and get rid of you. That's how it works. And it's been shown multiple times. So there you go. So there's a little bit more of an update on the Farage banking thing. I had some people going, oh, it's Nigel Farage. And as I said, it didn't matter whether you like him or not. The whole point of the video was saying we all need to be aware of the fact that the bank, if it deems necessary, can just shut you down. Now, could that possibly be the introduction of a social credit system? You be a good boy now and you be a good girl. Because if you're not, we'll take your bank accounts. Is this the reason why there's a push to get rid of cash and have it digital only? So then you would be really, truly screwed. So they shut down your bank account, didn't let you have your money. You ain't got nothing to survive on, have you? You see, I know this is all you're a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist. Well, a lot of the so-called conspiracies that I've sort of gone along with all come true. But you got people having their bank accounts shut, massive push to digital currency only, and if you can't see the connections between the two, and if you can't see that is exceedingly worrying, then may God have mercy upon your soul. Any case, I'm done with that. Socials up above, you know what to do. Like, share and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. That would be much appreciated. It always is. Don't forget, there's always a comment section down below for you to say whatever you want. How stupid it is, or whether I agree with you, or whether you agree with me or not, or the other way around. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're not stupid, and actually do, say things that can break laws, then it's welcome to be on there. And with that, I'm done. And all you need to do is just get out of my shed.